You want me just to chill?
You're right there. I'll go here. You go there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this evening here at Brian P. Mutt Memorial Court. About a minute and 46 left in the JV game. Looks like Western Browns got this one by about 20 points. So we're going to go ahead and jump into tonight's contest against the Broncos. With me for the first time ever, we've got Aaron Fawcett, proud father of senior Austin Fawcett. So got a different perspective tonight. He's going to talk a little bit about his experience with this team when they were younger and give us a little different perspective on the season as a dad coming from the stands. But let's start tonight off by the tall task ahead of us, and that's basically taking on the Western Broncos. Right now, second place, tied for second place in the league. Was able to pick Clinton-Massie off for the first game of the year. Started off with that first game in a league game, which is a little odd. But, lost by 11. What do you remember from that game at Western Brown that you want to bring tonight to make sure the team maybe make some adjustments to that?
Sure. I absolutely remember walking in and with our team being first year together, playing together, and seeing what we were kind of made of also. Western Brown is an excellent test right out the gate. And one of the things I remembered is Western Brown moves the ball very, very well. And when you have a team that moves the ball very well, you're going to find there's ups and downs. There's momentum and how our kids would react, and I was very pleased we hung in there to the very end, and then they went to the foul line and made some foul shots. But I was very pleased with our effort. That showed right out the gate that we were a team that wasn't going to quit. When we had a down by more than 10 or so, we always clawed back in. So it set the tone for the rest of the season, and sure, we'd like a few more wins in that category, but this team doesn't stop fighting. So.
No, I would agree. I would echo that same sentiment. I think there's only been one or two incidences through the year, I would say. Yeah. Edgewood probably, I think, got into their heads a little bit. And then, honestly, I think the Monroe game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
When you talk about effort has been tops, maybe other than those two incidences. But other than that, they fight, they claw, they scratch. I mean, we'll go back to last time this week. You're playing a Ponitz team that had beaten Thurgood Marshall, had beaten Dunbar, had lost to Wayne by 6 points, and you take a 30-19 lead into halftime.
Yeah, and they stepped up to that level of play, and I think that's just kudos to these kids that they know they can play at that level.
Right.
It's just getting it done at the end of the day.
Right. And, finishing is definitely the thing.
Yep, that's been
so talk a little bit about Brendan Lamb being out. He's been out for a few games now. I mean, that definitely changed the lineup, changes the approach by the offense. What have you seen as far as the change in the offense over the last few games?
Anytime you take the point guard out, you're taking the quarterback off the field with your football
absolutely.
team. And he made things go. The kids, though, I noticed – without having him, have also developed themselves into their own player, not so much relying on Brendan so much. And and that's what you got to step up. Next man up, you hear sports teams say. And so it's hurt. Yeah, absolutely. He's a tremendous player, ball handler. When the ball's in his hands, you can usually trust him. Yeah. And so when you take that off the court, you just got to rely on your other ball handlers.
Right.
And one of them happens to be my son. And so, as a dad, you look down and you say, all right,
take care of business, son.
Next man up.
Absolutely. So if you were to kind of put the season into a microcosm, I guess what's been the biggest heel, what's been the biggest hurt for this team? And then besides the effort, we talked about that what's been the most surprising or pleasing thing?
Sure. Biggest hurt or biggest negative, and I hate to be negative. You always want to encourage these kids and things, but self-induced turnovers.
Definitely turnovers.
Unforced errors.
Yep.
Those mistakes that at the varsity level you just can't have, and you'll learn. You can't have those unforced errors. And then I think finishing. When you got a team down or you're up and you need to grind that last few minutes out, as one of our JV players here has helped off Gabe, I believe, helped off the court here. Yep. So, the negative of it, of just finishing and what it takes to win at this level, the varsity level. You have to be able to finish games out. Positives, I totally believe in the fight and the grit of these kids. Fans come to hopefully watch their team win. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I've enjoyed watching them compete. And like you said, there's only been a couple, 3 games where I didn't think we got the full competition out of them. I would throw Hillsborough in there as well. We had them, and there at the end, we kind of just stop competing at that level that we took to them in the first half. So I love watching them compete. And as long as they do that, I can sit up here in the stands as a dad all game long and be proud. You know?
Yeah, effort is your number one concern, no matter what team it is, no matter what level you're playing at. If you get the best effort, you know, honestly, sometimes teams are just better.
Sure.
I mean, that's all there is to it. There are some more talented teams, and some nights you're going to get the best of them, and some nights they're going to get the best of you, but you want effort no matter what the night is. So looking over the season, like you said, we're right now, just with the one win against East Clinton, against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 losses. So that's a 1-12 record, where Western Brown's going to come in at this point. I believe that they are. It looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins.
Okay.
Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. So 9-6, 3-2 in the league. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to crest that first win in the league just yet. Batavia was here just last week, and we were hoping to get one against them, but they were able to kind of outgrid us there for the last 2 minutes or so. So going into this game, I mean, what's the expectation? What's the hope? Of course, we want to come away with a W, but other than that, what is it that we're looking for to be able to step away and say, this was a good night?
Sure. I've noticed also in those last few wins that Western Browns have, they're putting up 70-plus points. It looks like their offense is clicking, and that's one thing I remember with Western Brown. They move the ball around the perimeter very well. They'll go 4 out, 1 in. And so when you have a team that can score that much, you've got to be very defensive-minded of doing your job. Mm-hmm. And when you get out of position and you try to do too much, a team like this is going to hurt you at this point in the season. So I really hope they got a good defensive mindset, and the points will come on the other end. They got to be patient and take care of the ball. They got to take care of the ball.
Yeah, like you said, last couple games, a 70-point win against Greenfield McLean, a 69-point win against New Richmond, 78 against Lynchburg Clay, 77 against Batavia. And I think in that first game against Clinton-Massie, they weren't to that point yet. There was some probably some turnovers on their end they weren't used to doing. There was also some issues with their three-point shooting. Usually that's their bread and butter. In that particular game, they were trying to get their legs underneath them just a little bit. So we are going to take just a break for a second and look at our Hall of Fame inductions, and then Aaron and I will be back with some more pregame speech as the teams warm up. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Many athletes have run the halls of Clinton-Massie High School, and their accomplishments would have gone unfulfilled without the guidance of the men and women who have coached them. Not only as players, but as productive members of society and the community. Below are the following athletes that make up this class of inductees for this year. Contributor Mr. Tony Rodano, pre-consolidation Mr. Gary Weissong, 1980s Mr. Brian Lenke, and the 2000s Ms. Michelle Rodano. Now again. First up, Mr. Tony Rodano. Tony is being inducted as a contributor. For 19 years, Tony was known as the voice of the Falcons. He served as Clinton-Massie's public address announcer for club soccer, boys and girls soccer, and boys and girls basketball. Tony started in 1996 and announced his last game in 2014. There was a period of 7 years where he announced boys and girls basketball games 4 to 5 nights a week. Tony says he can remember as a kid how much his parents enjoyed hearing his name called as he entered the game that became his emphasis as a public address announcer. He loves seeing parents smile when their son or daughter was recognized. Tony, we'd like to thank you very much for the joy and enthusiasm you brought to the Falcon fans over these many years. Mr. Tony Rodano. Next up, and no longer with us, nor being escorted, is accompanying Gary Weissong, who is pre-consolidation. Gary is a 1957 graduate of Clarksville High School. He earned 8 varsity letters, 4 each in basketball and baseball. Weissong was part of the Indians' 1955 Clinton County basketball championship team. He He scored 1,152 career points, third most in club school history. His 76 career basketball games and 52 winning games are both the most in school history. Gary averaged 22.7 points per game his senior year and scored 37 points all in one game. During his baseball career, Gary had a game high of 20 strikeouts in a game his junior year. He also pitched a no-hitter his senior year. Mr. Gary Weissong, pre-consolidation. Representing the 1980s, Mr. Brian Lemke. Coming out is his parents, Tony Lemke and Sue Lemke. Brian is a 1981 graduate, lettered 4 years in tennis. He was All-10 Trace Conference 3 times and KTC Player of the Year in 1981. He posted a 57 and 18 career record and won the KTC Singles Championship 3 times. Brian was the team's most valuable player his junior and senior years. He also advanced to the district tournament both years. The Falcons were league champions in 1978 and 1981. Brian set records for most career victories, 57, and most victories in 1 year, 19 at the same time. Brian played tennis for 4 years at Wilmington College and won the Clinton County Men's Single Championship in 2003. Let's give it up for Brian Lemke. Our last inductee this evening is Miss Michelle Regano McMahon, representing the 2000. Michelle is a 2002 graduate and earned 10 varsity letters, 4 in track, 4 in soccer, and 2 in basketball. She earned all-league honors 7 times, 3 in soccer, 4 in track and field. She was all-Ohio in track as a junior when she qualified with state in both the 4x400 and the 4x100 meter relays. Michelle was part of the 2 relay school records and was one of the first female pole vaulters for Clinton-Massie. She was part of 8 league championship teams, 4 in track, 3 in soccer, and 1 in basketball. She was a National Scholar Athlete Award winner in 2002. After earning valedictorian honors at Clinton-Massie High School, Michelle attended Tennessee Tech, where she lettered 4 years and was the team captain 3 years. She was 3rd team academic All-American District 4 in 2005. Miss Michelle Regano McMahon. Please join me in a nice round of applause for all of our inductees and new Hall of Fame induction members, Tony Regano, Gary Weissong, Brian Lemke, and Michelle Regano McMahon. Thank you all very much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We appreciate you sticking with us during that pre-game ceremony for our Hall of Famers. Congratulations to them. So our Clinton-Massie Hall of Fame class this year, just share with you briefly for those of you that didn't get to hear that announcement, is Tony Bergano for our contributor, Gary Weissong for our pre-consolidation, Brian Lampke, the son of Tony Lampke, which was our first ever varsity football coach. Nice. Also, the gentleman that put our stadium seats together. It's actually a pretty cool story if you ever get a chance to talk to him about it. And then Michelle Bergano McHannon. She's from the 2000s. Brian Lampke's from 1980. So congratulations. Each one of those is entering in the Clinton-Massie Hall of Fame, which is a very small group of people for a school that's been around since 1964, chartered in 1959. It's definitely an elite group, and it's exciting to have them as a part of that this year.
Anytime you can see the tradition from previous generations, it always brings out more people.
Absolutely,
it brings the community together.
Absolutely.
It's always a neat thing to see.
So we appreciate them being a part of that tonight and the crowd welcoming them to the center of court. We'll get back to some conversation about the game coming up here tonight. So as we mentioned, we're excited about seeing what Clinton-Massie brings to the table. You're facing a team right now that's kind of kicking on all cylinders with Western Brown. So you said have that defensive mindset, maybe even slow the ball down just a little bit. And then lately, what have you noticed about that full court press that we've been coming out
of? When you have only 7 players, and I don't mean on the whole varsity side, but we go 7 deep usually, and a couple subs off the bench, and then a few that can get in there when you need them. But by about the fourth quarter, you just wonder if that takes a toll throughout the game of staying at that full court press, and because it just seems like around that fourth quarter time, 3-4 minutes left, we're out. We're gassed. And you see them huffing, and they're trying, but that's usually when those mindless errors are occurring, that you have unforced turnovers and things like that. So, but it's how we hang in there, and it's how we get those, those other loose balls or slow them down, take them out of their offense, and so we'll see what we choose tonight.
And it'll be interesting to see what he comes out with as far as defensive set in the half court, because we've seen some 1-3-1 lately. I guess initially, and I don't know all the details, but I would be a little concerned because this is a pretty hot shooting team, especially from behind the arc. And then, if they don't do that, they're probably not going to go 2-3 zone. So if you go man-to-man, then you got Zion Toll, you got Yanni Williams that have to deal with that inside-out game. So it'll be interesting to see what they do defensively.
I remember the first game. We manned them the whole time. And so I just remember, though, they penetrated very well. If you go man, they will try to get to that key from the outside in, and then they kick out. So going to that zone sometimes will take them out, but at the same time, they're going to find that open guy, it seems like, lately, because they're putting up some points, and that's tough to do if you're not moving the ball.
So speaking of points, Zion Toll has reached the number 5 scoring in the league. So the league stats are for both American and National Division. Braden Simple's your number 1 guy, 33.8 points a game, which is actually down. It's actually down a couple points, believe it or not. So
off game.
The latest story on him is that if he were to average, I believe the number's either between 34 or 36 points for the rest of his high school career, he's going to eclipse LeBron James in his all-time scoring in the state of Ohio. So congratulations to Braden. I had the pleasure of coaching Braden when he was a young pup. He always played up a year, and he always loved to shoot the 3 even in 4th and 5th grade. So congrats to him. Great young man. Very nice young man, actually. Guy you want to root for.
That's something to say, though, in your own backyard. You have a kid going for a scoring title.
That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
Skylar Schmidt, if you've never seen this young man play, listed at 6'8", he's probably about 6'7", can handle the ball, rebounding, unbelievable. He actually leads the league in rebounding as well. Cam Coomer, we've seen Cam Coomer hit an ice in his veins shot right here in front of us here on this far side of the court where Clinton-Massie's warming up right now to win that game here at Brian P. Mudd Court just a few weeks back. You got Branson Smith, who was a little bit under the weather when we played him. We didn't get to see his best, but he's averaging 18 points a game. And then you see Zion Toll with 16.9. The thing about Toll is he doesn't need to be the star. He's got some help around him. So I'll tell you who impressed me a lot is the gentleman leading in the assists there, New Richmond, the Evan Ipsaro,
now,
I believe.
Is he
He's
only
the
a freshman? Yes, that's the one.
freshman kid and a decent-sized kid, actually. For his age, he's got some stock
good.
on him.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested if he can put another 10 to 15 pounds on him, what he's going to do in the near future. You see Yanni Williams for Western Brown as the field goal percentage leader. It's because he's going to take those real short inside shots. And how about Jordan Redmond representing for Clinton-Massie is the only person on the top 5 list with his field goal percentage as well. Bo Snyder, Goshen, Braden Sipples also on that list there. Defensively, as we said, Skylar Schmidt's leading in rebounds. Also, Braden Sipples, a fantastic rebounder, 3rd in the league. Blocks, which is something that we do have a couple guys near the top there. I think Tate Oberding is maybe at number 7, Nate Baker's at number 10, and then steals represented there again by the Evan Ipsaro gentleman. So, at this point, Clinton-Massie, especially with Brendan Lamb out, has had to redistribute the ball, as you said. I think the gentleman that stepped up maybe just a little more than everybody else is Tate Oberding.
Yeah.
He's had to. He's had to score more points, raising his average up a little bit. He's up to 11.7 points per game now. Usually brings about 5 rebounds, almost 2 assists per game. Not shooting the 3 a lot, so that's not really his game. He wants to drive the ball inside or get a rebound and put it back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's going to give you the effort, and he can jump out of the gym. So
Absolutely.
He plays above the rim, and he plays strong and aggressive. So, he's really putting together a few good games here.
Reminds me of a young Aaron Fawcett. Just jumping.
Above the rim.
Right.
Absolutely.
Head above the rim, absolutely.
That was usually when my center was hoisting me above it.
Throwing you up there, So Brendan Lamb out again this game, hoping to get him back, I believe, by next Friday. I don't assume they're going to try to bring him back against a very tough Bellbrook team on Tuesday at Bellbrook. That's winning a lot of games against some tough opponents. So that puts Nate Baker as your next leading scorer. Nate's tried to step up a little bit. He was actually, you mentioned that Hillsborough game. I think if he doesn't get hurt, that game goes a little bit different. We can't predict the future or the past, I should say, at this point. But, I definitely think that hurt. But he's been back since that game. And, giving you, I think Nate's that effort guy. He's going to give you the effort, everything he's got. Maybe not able to get the ball in the hole every time like he'd want to, but he's going to scrap. He's going to claw for you.
And he's going to help bring guys with him and encourage and lead in that demeanor. He's very he just takes that. He's a voice, and he'll let you hear it. So.
He's the only vocal leader I think the team's got, to be honest with you.
Yep.
So he's a captain as well as Brendan Lamb. So followed by Austin Fawcett. Austin Fawcett, again, having to step up, has raised his points per game up to 7 points. Carter Uten has taken a lot of the minutes that we lost out of Brendan Lamb. Jordan Redmond, Logan Myers also splitting those. And then Blake Ireland following up, as you said, that maybe 7 deep so far.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about what does the bench have to give you tonight to stay in this game?
We always say that the bench is valuable, and so minutes are valuable. So anytime they can come in and give your guys a breather, those starters, it's crucial. And like we said, we've been seeing our guys press a lot, and so those little guards and those smaller guards that are coming in, just to help your legs get back and then get back in there. So not necessarily the elite scoring that you might possibly need, but doing the little things. I know Blake gets in there, and he's very hard-nosed on defensive side. He shuts down some of their guards sometimes and just switches it up a little bit for us. So he's done a good job. Carter, when he's come in, and now he's got to take more of the load, but he's been a presence outside the perimeter, and he's hit knockdown threes, and he's growing. I mean, these two are only sophomores.
Right.
So that's kudos to them developing. They're developing.
You got 2 juniors and 2 sophomores that have to give you a ton of minutes.
Sure.
I mean, that's all there is to it. So let's talk a little bit about the league. We've had the opportunity now, being in each one of these games so far, to see the rest of the league. In your opinion, who is the cream of the crop? Who are you gunning for at this point in the league?
Sure. I'm thinking, as I look down through, obviously in the smaller league, I mean, you got Blanchester that's just a head above, but in the American, I don't know. I feel like it's New Richmond, Wilmington. If they have a good night, we'll take it. But like the other night, I couldn't believe that Goshen. I believe they got Western Brown pretty good, and that really caught me off guard. Remember, we had a last-second buzzer beater that we had Goshen. I truly believe so. I think the top, it's amongst Western Brown, I would say New Richmond, and it's a toss-up between Goshen and Wilmington. So it's pretty competitive across the top there.
And I know I talked to Coach Cook after the first game we had against Western Brown, and he said if that's the lead team in the league, then we're competitive.
Absolutely.
I mean, right off the bat. So, yeah, I think there's been, even though there's a 4-1 record for both Goshen and New Richmond, I don't know if there's a clear-cut, you're the best and everybody's shooting for you.
I agree.
Because on any night at this point, minus the fact that, we're still looking for that first win, I think anybody can beat anybody.
Yeah.
Even us. I mean, even us.
Absolutely.
Especially if we were at full strength, it would just depend on who was having the better night. On the national side, as you mentioned, you got Claremont Northeastern. That is the only team that's beat Blanchester in the league. And then you got Blanchester, who's, scoring a ton of points per game, 13-1 overall. Claremont Northeastern 13-2 overall. And then you've got a whole lot of group down there that's 500 or less.
Yeah, I think in the national, you got two teams that are really separating themselves from the pack.
Yeah.
In the American, I'm not seeing it so much. And so, that's a good thing to be in that side. But at the same time, we've seen in that fourth quarter, we've not been able to finish to get one of those W's. So.
Let's talk a little bit about the schedule. So I got 2 points I want to go over. First, for those of you that haven't seen the Clinton-Massie boys play this year, it's been a brutal schedule. It's been a tough schedule. I mean, when you pick Edgewood as your second game, you've got Blanchester, which you want to play Blanchester. It's a team that's 12 minutes away.
Yep.
You've got Hillsborough, which is a bigger school. You got Franklin, who was just awesome and firing on all cylinders, and we actually had a great game that game.
Yeah.
If they didn't make, I think they were 63% from three-point line. You just can't believe that. Valley View's a tough team. Goshen obviously this year is doing well. Did get a win against East Clinton. Ponitz was good. I think they had a bad night. I think they were honestly, I think they were outcoached, to be honest.
I do too.
The 1-3-1 messed them up. They never adjusted. They just got hot.
They're used to
man.
They're used to that full court. It's just run and gun. And so,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'd say at this point, the rest of the year after today's game, Western Brown, you got at Bellbrook. That's a tough game.
Yeah.
That's a tough game. I mean, Bellbrook's doing well. They beat Monroe. I believe they beat Valley View early in the year, or Valley View might have got them by 2, so it was a very close game. Then you're playing at Wilmington.
Yep.
I mean, credit to Wilmington. It's a tough place to play.
It is.
It's a very tough place to play. I'm not really looking forward, to be honest, to going to that game. That pit, and their fans are very vocal.
Yep.
And that's and so are ours. So that means that it's going to be a nice, loud game. You got New Richmond here. You've got Goshen here, and then you've got the Division V state champions in football, Anna.
Yeah.
With a quarterback that
The
I believe
Rockets.
is
Yeah.
I think he's 6'2" or 6'3", and has a cannon.
Yep.
I'm assuming he's either going to be able to jump or shoot, one of the two.
Those are the schools that, they're multi-sport kids.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
you're going to
Very
see your
small
football
school. Yeah.
players playing basketball.
And then we finish up at Batavia for league play. Again, another kind of tough place to play. A couple years ago, we lost on a buzzer beater last second, chucked it from probably 27 feet and put it in, which I still remember that. Mm-hmm. Also had, I believe, 4 parents kicked out that game.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was one of those. That was a tough one for us.
I wasn't one of them.
Yes,
I just want everybody
true,
to know that.
True.
Yeah.
And then we have the SBAC crossover game, which, if those of you don't know, that's going to be, we play the team that's in the same place as us in the American League and the National. So right now that would be East Clinton or Felicity Franklin, depending
I think
on
what you just said there, though, is our out-of-conference schedule is brutal. We're not afraid to put a good basketball team on there. So,
And to the credit of Western Brown, they played St. X earlier this year, which was a surprise.
See that, yeah.
Definitely was a tough game for them, 74-34. They played Williamsburg, Bethel Tate, and Georgetown, which were all wins for them. They did play at Anderson and won there. Anderson's a little down this year. They played at Lynchburg, Clay, and North Adams. One was a win, one was a loss. That North Adams team actually is a pretty tough team. I've got to see them play before, and they have some good basketball down there. They did get a win against Greenfield McLean just the other night on Tuesday. So I think their out-of-league schedule has given them the opportunity to get a couple W's in a good way. And that's something that the athletic director and I have talked about, Cindy Running, about moving forward. I happen to be the SBAC league president as well. And I told her we should be playing more crossover games.
Sure.
I mean, we honestly should. A lot of these teams we're not going to see in the tournament because they play in the Southeast or they're in the smaller division. So we should be playing more crossover crossover games, and I think that's the plan for the future.
Yeah.
Today we're just going to talk a little bit about the Western Brown Broncos lineup. So you're going to see Yanni Williams out there. He's listed at 6'3" in the forward position as a senior. You're going to see Zion Tall, who's a junior at 6'2". He's listed at the forward position as well. I believe Bryce Bell's going to be out there, which is a sophomore at 5'10" at the guard position. Wyatt Sexton, Chance Moore, all people that you're going to see at some point on the court. We'll share those as we start to get some of the starting lineups take the field there. Lastly, let's just talk about, as we're going through the rest of this year and that schedule that we talked about just moments ago, how do you get ready for the tournament knowing that your record is probably putting you against, I'm just going to take a wild guess and say, Chaminade Julienne the first round?
I believe you try to minimize those mistakes that you shouldn't be making this late in the year, and the hustle, the effort, that's there in this team. We know that. But I also think you got to have maybe a couple tricks up your sleeve that maybe they're not going to see on film as they look back and go for it. I don't think you can hold back. What do you hate to say that, but what do you have to lose? Well, against teams like that, you see it in other sports all the time. The trick plays and things that they've put in just for that game. I think you do that right out the gate in that first round and see what happens. Anything can happen.
Can you run a flea flicker in basketball? Is there any way to run a reverse in basketball? I like
all
the
four
idea.
Go Hail Mary and you just launch it.
Yes, just launch it. Yeah, loose 700, all go. We used to call that back in my coaching days. So I think, unfortunately, even the players have seen it. I've talked to a couple of those that unless you can get out of that 1-19 or 2-18, you're going to face a lot of times, and I've talked to other coaches about this, a lot of times those high-seeded teams don't take buys anymore. They don't want to sit for a week. So they're going to play a team that's been 1-19 or 2-18 and try to get their legs underneath
as
them
a coach.
still and keep them warmed
I
up.
always said you don't want to lose that rhythm. Absolutely.
Now you said as a coach, talk a little bit just for a second about experiencing these guys as eighth graders. So the senior group you have now, which is Nate Baker, Austin Fawcett, Tate Oberding, are people that you got to coach as eighth graders.
It's neat to see them develop as young men, but also develop on the court. I remember we had, 12. You always have big-time numbers at that level for some reason, 12 to 14 guys, and you got a whole nother load that you're trying to get in there to play. But the main core has stuck around. There's a couple that transferred out to another district or moved out to another district, and so that were starters then. But I see we had a good mix. I remember coaching and saying, okay, we have the tools. You had your guards, you had your big men, and you had your shooters, you had your drivers. I mean, you really had a good little mix. And to see them taking what they're strong in and developing to where they're at now, that's the job of a coach. And so their weaknesses are getting stronger. But the other thing that I look at is any coach does is how are they developing off the field as young men, and so the leadership and bringing along those younger guys, and so it's just a joy. Coaching kids is always that mentor type position, and to see them out here all lined up with their arms over their shoulders, getting ready for the anthem, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we're going to take just for a moment a break to celebrate the national anthem. We'll be back with you in just a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest country in the world with freedoms like no other. In order to honor this great nation and those that have so proudly served and are serving today, we ask that you please stand. Let's all face our flag. Gentlemen, please remove your hats and join us in the singing of our national anthem. Western Brown Broncos starting lineup, and here we go. Starting number 1 is Yanni Williams. Number 2, Jackson Miller. Number 5, Chance Moore. Number 20, Ian Schaefer. And 23, Zion Toll.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, returning back to action here. Aaron, right before we get started, and we're going to start in just a moment as they're doing the opening lineups here. Keys to the game. What do you need to see?
I think we have to have a defensive mindset. We got to slow them down and not get broken down on the defensive side. I think that's the number one thing. And on offense, take care of the ball. Make good use of your possessions, because you're not going to get as many, because they're a good defensive team as well.
Right. I think my opinion is don't have a bad first quarter.
Yeah.
And I'll say even don't have a bad first 2 minutes.
Sure.
If Coach Cook has to call a timeout in the first 2 minutes, that doesn't bode well for the rest of the night, because our team sometimes struggles, although they like to fight and they like to scrap. They struggle getting underneath as underdogs a little bit, and they get that, oh, here we go again mentality.
Yeah. I've seen so many games, and I caught that, is 17, 19, 22 points that we were allowing in that first quarter, out the gate.
You just can't,
and you
can't
do
claw
it.
back
The
from
ones
it.
we've been in, 10, 11, 12-point quarters.
Right.
So, yeah, you're right.
So we're going to get ready for action here on the court.
So, yeah, they kind of messed up the starters there, because Austin Fawcett, he missed a couple days there with the flu, so Blake's in there.
Okay. It's probably bad parenting. He probably wasn't taken care of. His health was not put into first priority there in his home.
That's mommy's fault is what I said.
Absolutely. So jumping for the Clinton-Massie Falcons is going to be Nate Baker, Yanni Williams for the Broncos. The tip coming to you here from Brian P. Mudd Court. Tip goes to Western Brown. Western Brown, number 2 is Jackson Miller. So Miller's got the ball at the timeline, crossing over to be by Blake Island. The hedge is by Nate Baker. Nate Baker's going to move back to Yanni Williams. Ball goes to Schaefer. Schaefer takes a quick shot, and that's for 2. Schaefer with 2 points, and they're going to put a full court press on right away back to him.
Here we go. So they're speeding him up. Here comes Carter down to the key. Gets it over to Logan, up, and he gets blocked from behind. Tate gets the loose ball, looking for somebody. Baker, shot Baker, short, and rebound goes to Toll.
Yeah, Toll's gonna be not necessarily your main ball handler. He's your main 3-point threat. So Toll's got the ball. Hedge again by Baker, brings back to Yanni Williams. Yanni Williams is going to pick for number 5, which is Chance Moore. Moore with the ball at the top of the key. Again, he's going to move over, but then Tate is able to follow that. Miss on the 3-point. Carter Uten tries for the rebound, but Moore is able to get the rebound over him. Ball's back to number 2. That's Miller. Miller at the top of the key to Williams. Williams bring the ball at the 3-point line. Back to Moore. Moore over to Miller. Miller to Zion Toll. Zion Toll guarded by Logan Myers. Tries to get the movement on the pick. And looks to drive with Baker in the middle there. Nice stop. Good defense by Logan Myers. Logan Myers brings the ball. I'm sorry, number 2 is Jackson Miller. Miller brings the ball back out to Moore. Moore hedges by Nate Baker. Tries to get back in from Yanni Williams. Yanni Williams looking inside, trying to post up. Don't want the ball to him just yet.
Yeah. Got an illegal screen there by number 1, by Williams.
Yeah. Yanni Williams is going to be called for an illegal screen. We see that from up here. That's going to be a 2-0 lead for the Broncos after a minute and a half has been passed here. Carter Uten gets the ball back from Logan Myers.
So they're going full court here just to take us out of our momentum, maybe a little bit, keep us from going. Man-to-man. Carter Uten, they're looking for a weave, back cut, not there. Carter still has it out top. Puts a spin move on. Over to the corner to Blake Ireland. Blake brings it out to the top, resets. Dribbling around and tipped out of bounds by number 5 for Western Brown. It stays here, Massey ball.
Chance Moore with defense on that one. Logan Myers going to take the ball out of bounds.
He's looking, gets it into Carter, and he is out of bounds on the line.
So there's an unforced error. You just talked about it. Yep. So an empty possession, 2-0 is still your score with 2 minutes have gone by in this first quarter. Number 20 for the Broncos, which is Schaefer, gets the ball over to the point guard. At this point, we see that's Miller. Miller gets the ball back over to Schaefer. He's going to take a quick cut. Yanni Williams gets the ball top of the key. Zion Toll gets the ball over to Schaefer again, or Moore. Moore gets the ball at the corner and tries to get it over to
good
Schaefer. Defense by
comes Tate Oberding on the fast break, up and in. Nice play. Nice play. I'm catching something here. We're starting off in man. So
we had talked about that defensive
zone,
philosophy.
Yep.
We're going to be in man right now. Yanni Williams trying to bring the pick. Hedge by Baker. He crosses over. They stuff the middle, but the ball goes out. Rebound by Carter Uten. Carter Uten's been rebounding a lot lately.
There it is up front to Tate again. And the foul. Going to the line for an and one chance.
Definitely a cheap foul there. I'm sure Zion Tall is going to want to have that one back. That's not one that didn't do anything. If you're going to foul, stop them from making the basket. Absolutely.
Never give them another chance for a point.
4-2 is going to be your score with 5 minutes and 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Tate Oberding to the line.
Just like we were saying right out the gate, Tate's getting his offense going. Misses on the and one chance. And here comes Western Brown, number 2.
So Miller's got the ball, and he's going to cross the timeline. The ball gets into number 5, which is Moore. Moore over to Yanni Williams. Yanni Williams to Schaefer. Schaefer back up top to Miller. Miller with a floater, and it's a bank shot up and in. Going to need a little help there.
I don't know if he called it, but it did go in. And here comes
Nate Baker's
Blake.
Backing up. Gets
Carter across the line. Ooh, good D. Carter got it back, lost the first second, goes in strong, and jump ball is called.
So with Western Brown winning the possession on the tip, the ball will go to Clinton-Massie with Carter Uten going out of bounds, switched out for by Nate Baker.
Now here's something I've also noticed is our inbounds has struggled. Yes. We have struggled with screening and
turning the ball over.
Yeah, just unforced turnovers. So here goes it, good inbounds to Nate Baker from Tate and up and in. Good score there.
So that one worked out well.
That was a good one, yes. I need to
you need to jinx us more often.
Double negative, come on.
Sometimes we're going to have a bad shooting night from the foul line, right?
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay,
bad,
exactly.
bad.
Yeah, so Nate Baker with the defense on number 2. That's Miller. Miller gets the ball back to Yanni Williams. That's just a good pick and roll right there.
That is a good pick and roll. That's twice. Yeah, he knocked the ball out there. Delay a game warning for Western Brown.
Delay a game warning against Yanni Williams.
Yep.
Yanni Williams is known to have some vocal appreciation for the fans, for the other players. He likes to have conversations.
Good push up the floor to Nate Baker and up and in.
Yep.
That was
nice
quick.
Job.
I mean, that was 2.5 seconds. I counted it.
Nice job. 3:59, 8-6 lead for the Clinton-Massie Falcons. Clinton-Massie hedges again. Another long shot taken. Carter Eden with the rebound. Almost out of the reach
to the corner to Blake. Back in it. Carter for the 3. Looks good from here. Right off.
Tate Oberding took a little shot to the face there. He's slow to recover. Yep. So Zion Toll, don't let that guy shoot. And that's a quick bucket. Somebody needs to box out there.
Yep.
And it looks like Tate Oberding is going to have to go to the sideline. Took a shot to the face pretty good. He's going straight back to the trainer's room. Checking into the game for the Clinton-Massie Falcons is Jordan Redmond.
Yeah, I don't know if he took one on the nose, the cheek, or.
So we're going to need next man up, right?
Yep, next man up. We only got a couple more left, so. That was a good play by Carter. Up to Jordan. He's breaking down the defense, gets into the key. Back over to Nate Baker, who's penetrating. Nice floater off the front edge there. Back to Western Brown as they come up. Cross through the half-court line.
Yeah, got to not let that no open shots. No open shots. Number 2 with the ball, Miller. Miller's going to get the ball. Gets it over to Zion Toll. Checking back into the game is going to be Tate Oberding here in just a second of the next dead ball. That's a travel, yeah. 2 jumps on that one, 2 jumps. It looks like Zion Toll took a little shot there, maybe to the lower region, the lower half there.
Yes.
Checking out the game, Nate Baker back into the game, Tate Oberding.
Tate Oberding, good. He's okay. That's good to see. Logan Myers is throwing it in, gets it into Tate. They got some good full court pressure, pushing it up the court. Now we need to calm down here. They got him in the corner, right where you don't want to go.
Nope, another unforced error.
Yep.
Well, we'll call that one a forced error.
Yeah.
Yanni Williams. I think we just gave him back the cheap foul there. Tate Oberding should have stopped the ball from going in, slapped him on the hand, got the and one. It's going to be 8-8 with 2:44 left in the first period.
You can see their philosophy. Austin Foss says he's checking in for Blake Ireland, but they are trying to get you to throw it up to that corner.
Yep.
And they're going to jump on that trap.
Which they did.
They did. Nice job. They efficiently do what the coach is drawing up here.
Yep.
So rebound, Carter Uten, he's coming up on the missed foul shot. Good pressure by Western Brown, gets it over to Austin Fawcett, who just checked in. He's at the perimeter, he inbound, gets it into Tate, who slips, looks like on some sweat, and they come out with the Western Brown as they bring it back.
Yeah, 5 is Chance Moore. Chance Moore's got an easy stride to the basket, nothing but up and in there.
We didn't get back on that.
Nope.
Yeah, that was – somebody's got to get back and get pressure on the ball, always stop the ball. Here comes Carter bringing it up again. Yeah, they have active hands. If you watch them, as soon
they
as
get big.
They get them hands out, and they're going to get on you when you drive. He's counting, so Austin, he better get rid of it. He gets it to Tate. Tate's looking to drive. He skips it over to Logan Myers, who drives baseline, back, nice pass. And he up and misses it. Jordan had a good rebound, and it was blocked.
Yep, blocked by Yanni Williams, and he's actually one of the leaders in that top 10 as well for blocks. So Yanni wants to get his defensive prowess on quickly. Number 5 with the ball, Chance Moore. Chance Moore is going to get it back to the point guard, which is Miller. Miller drives, kicks it back out to Moore. Moore with the three-point shot, missed. Jordan Redmond goes up. Able to
nice
pull the rebound. Nice rebound. Gets
Had
it out
that
to
thing
Carter
around
Uten.
the back of his head, but
Absolutely.
found a way. Carter Uten again bringing it up. Tate Olberding is trying to post up Yanni Williams, and we got another time. No.
30-second
Yep,
timeout.
30 seconds.
Yep, so we're going to. So first time out here. What are we
Yeah.
seeing? What do we like? What do we don't
Well,
like?
I can tell this also is you got to remember Coach Cook has missed the last couple games, and so you have a different philosophy here a little bit. Coach Gerber, I know, likes some of that zone with these guys that he coached last year on the junior varsity level, but Coach Cook going right back to that man. And I'm also seeing we're doing a good job on when they're taking their threes. They're going to get their threes. They're going to move the ball.
Yeah.
But we're getting those long rebounds and pushing it up.
Yeah.
And that's how we've gotten a couple of those quick points.
Yep,
with Tate.
transition has been good so far.
Yeah.
So 12-8 is your lead for Western Brown after the first 7 minutes or so in the game. So not necessarily that big overwhelming overcoming. If they can hold them into the next minute or so and keep this one close,
Sure.
let's go into the second quarter and make a couple adjustments.
Yeah, keep it within a handful. You always like to stay within that.
Yeah, 1:09 left in the first period. Checking back into the game is Blake Ireland and Nate Baker. So Nate Baker, Jordan Redmond gets the ball back in quickly for a 2-point score. So that's another out-of-bounds play. I like that you called that earlier.
Yes, there were 2 for 2 on a couple of those.
And
that is a
long three-pointer.
And Austin Fawcett
gets
long
the rebound.
He's bringing it up.
Jordan's open.
Oh, that's a kick.
Oh.
But they didn't get it. So Blake shoots a 3, right in and out. Jordan
gets the ball knocked out of his hands by number 2. That's Miller. Miller gets the ball up to number 24. Is checked in the game is Drew Novak. Novak comes right in and almost scores. Nate Baker is able to block. Oh, no, they're going to call him for the foul.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't see that one. We had a bad angle here.
Hand,
yeah, ball's going to go to the foul line for Novak. So he's going to get the score. 14-10 is your score. They're actually going to call that on Blake Ireland. So surprisingly, must have been underneath there.
Yeah. So he makes that and one.
Nate takes the ball out of bounds, gets it to Blake Ireland.
Blake brings it across half court. Good ball pressure again. He's looking for somebody to help him. Gets it over to Austin Fawcett, who's being pressured also. He's looking down into Nate Baker at the top of the 3. Good drive and gets bumped. No call. Puts it up off the glass. No good. Western Brown rebound going the other way. Foul on Tate Olberding.
That's going to be Tate's first with 15.6 seconds left in the first quarter. 15-10 is your lead for the Broncos. Stretching at one more point there. So I think they're going to pull Tate out for these last 15 seconds. Make sure to get a cheap foul there.
This 24, Drew Novak that checked in, he's a freshman.
Wow.
I mean, he's put together pretty well. 6'4".
Tall kid.
I mean, he's
Miller's got the ball, running a little 4 out maybe here, looking for a post play from number 22. Up and in. Bad transition defense there by Dylan Novak.
Especially on that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, just an easy kind of pitch and catch there for the Broncos to finish a 17-10 first quarter for them. And those are the kind of easy points you just can't give up, especially at the end of the quarter.
Yep, those are the ones you got to buckle down and be very focused, know the time. Know your role.
And when they change their offensive mindset a little bit, you got to be able to adjust on the fly with your defensive mindset. If anything, you want to pack that paint. You know that they're driving at this point because the 3 pointers aren't falling.
Yep.
So they're going to try to get the ball into the paint and drive it in. So, that first quarter, not a bad quarter for Clinton-Massie, 17-10. So you got a 7-point deficit to overcome here in the second half. Energy seems to be okay. Leading these scores right now, Nate Baker has 4. Looks like Jordan Redmond has 2, 1 foul for Tate Oberding, 1 foul for Blake Ireland. 10 points for the Falcons, and leading, it looks like a very balanced scoring lineup here. Number 2, which is Miller. Miller's got 2. Moore's got 2. Number 22, Dylan Novak has 2. And number 24, Drew Novak has 3 as well. So, Zion Toll, kind of quiet in that first quarter, which in some ways worries me just a little bit. Yeah.
He's one of those guys.
He's going to get his points.
He'll get his.
He's going to get his points at some point. Into the game for the Falcons, Logan Myers, Blake Ireland, going to the 1-3-1 now.
There we go.
Okay, so a little change up defensively. This concerns me a little bit
because of that guy right there.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I think they've got a few. The Schaefer kid's pretty good at 3-pointers as well. Blake Ireland is able to play some good defense. Nate Baker, over the top.
There
preparing for a rebound. We're getting set, and it looks like the ball's going to go over to Clinton-Massie anyway. So, 3-point shot there by Jackson Miller. Miller is able to turn the ball over on the shot.
Deep pass in off the, Nate Baker out. Oh, and he goes up and he puts it down. Yes.
Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen.
That noise that you heard was the rim.
That was the rim
not
shaking, ladies and gentlemen.
A door shutting.
Yes, absolutely. Good thing for Nate Baker. That's fun for him.
He did not
He didn't
hesitate
there.
He
wanted that one. Absolutely. So
he caught me off guard. I'm sorry.
Zion Toll with a 3.
There it is.
That's going to hurt you right
Yep.
there. That kind of takes your momentum out right there. Nice job.
Nate bringing it up.
Yep.
6'5" point guard. Look at him.
He said, give me some. Give me some. Back to him.
Jordan back to him. Out to Blake Ireland in the corner. He's looking into Nate. He goes baseline. He skips it back out to Logan. Over to Austin Fawcett at the perimeter. Back out to Nate, who's at the top. Around the perimeter, here we go. Nice. Good ball movement. Gets it into Jordan Redmond and there's
another turnover.
He's got active hands.
Another turnover. And a quick, nope.
Missed it. Yeah. Here comes Blake on a fast break push. Got one-on-one here and he gets blocked. Logan Myers gets blocked. Nate up and in off the rebound. That was a good
shot.
Result there, absolutely.
So Nate trying to keep him in here. 8 points for Nate Baker, a 20-14 lead for the Broncos. Back into that 1-3-1. Miller gets the ball over to Novak. Novak almost trapped, almost gets it to the passing lane, and that's a 3-point basket. I'm telling you, the 1-3-1 might not be what this team needs to face.
They just move it around, 4 out, 1 in. That's hard to keep up with when you got one guy running around out there.
Yep.
Blake Ireland bringing it up the court again. Gets a good screen by Jordan Redmond out to Fawcett at the top. He drives, he's bumped, and there he is again, number 2.
Yep. Another turnover, so that's at least 4 in the half. I'd say we've got a few more that we missed count. So the ball's Miller. Miller's going to shoot another 3-pointer. The ball goes to Austin Fawcett. He's going to slow the ball down just a little bit here, which is probably a good idea. Actually, he's going to take off and drive.
Lane and a foul.
Yeah, that's a good
gets
drive.
Fouled on the way up. Yep, he saw an opening there and took it.
Absolutely. Nice job by Clinton-Massie to get that ball on the rebound and push it up. Austin Fawcett takes it to the left side of the lane and gets the foul with a 23-14 deficit. Looks like that's going to be the first foul on number 2. That's Miller, and the shot's good by Austin Fawcett.
Up and in for the first. I really like this guard number 2 for Western Brown, Jackson Miller. He's a sophomore, but he makes things happen with those hands. Austin Fawcett shooting his second, up and off the front edge to the left. They're trying to trap out, and here comes Western Brown.
Zion Toll brings the ball across the timeline. Ball's just not getting back. Not getting back.
Because of that trap.
That's terrible. Terrible effort right there by Clinton-Massie. They're frustrated. They're not getting back on defense.
That's just one of those mental mistakes.
Yep. As soon as they start turning the ball over, it seems like they just compound on each other.
Tate Oberding gets it in down low, puts it up and gets fouled, almost an and one.
Yeah, definitely
going
gets
to the
fouled
line
there. So we heard the slap from up here in the Crow's Nest. 25-15 your score. So now they've extended that 7-point lead to a 10-point lead with very balanced scoring. 5 points for Miller, 5 points for Novak. 2 of those baskets in this quarter are on just not getting back on defense.
We give it to them, and that's when you can't have varsity level. But
Oberding gets the first points there. So back into the game, Nate Baker.
So we have Baker, Tate Oberding, Logan Myers, Austin Fawcett, and Carter Uten out for the Falcons. Second shot up.
Yep.
And it's in. It's good. 25.
18
should be. Here we come.
So back to the man-to-man, I believe. Yes, very quickly back to man-to-man.
Yes.
So ball goes to number 20.
Ooh, I thought he was going to. Baker got underneath there. I thought he was going to get the charge.
Looked like he was going to get the call, but the block call goes against Baker. Number 20 to the line, Ian Schaefer. Ian Schaefer is going to take a 2-point foul shot, or two foul shots here.
It looked like the ref was going to call a charge, and he thought about it and took up the other hand.
So actually the score is correct. We do have 17. So 26-17. We had 15 at the time. So 26-17 your score. It looks like they're going to extend that back out to that's going to be a 10-point lead. Yep. So Carter Uten gets the ball, drives it across the timeline up to Nate Baker, throws it right off his foot. Man, another turnover. Another turnover, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I mean, we're getting close to double digits at this point.
Yep, right out the gate. Oh, and he sees a lane.
Goes back the other way.
Wow.
It's 2 quick fouls on Nate Baker. 4:20 left in the second quarter is going to probably sit him down for a little while.
Our guards are getting beat off the ball, which is causing our bigs to have to, help.
Play behind.
And they're getting a little out of position because they're trying to guard their own man because they move very well.
Yep. And they're knocking down foul shots. I mean, this is just this quarter has gotten away from us right now. 28-17 is your score.
And we're at the 4-minute
mark. Yeah, 4 minutes left in the second period. That's a missed foul shot with a rebound by.
Wow.
Yeah, Western Brown. That's got to stay on your feet. Got to stay on your feet, Logan. Zion Toll with the ball.
Is a travel. Yeah, travel.
Yep. Calling for a travel there. Luckily, looked like a slap foul could have been called as well. So Clinton-Massie's got Carter Uten, Austin Fawcett, Nate Baker, Logan Myers, and Tate Oberding in the game. Checking into the game for Western Brown. Checking out is Zion Toll and number 22, Dylan Novak. Back into the game is Moore and Drew Novak.
There's more of the full court pressure. They got the Carter right in the middle. Tip it.
Another.
And he got right in the face.
He got hit pretty hard there.
Nate Baker hustles. Causes a double dribble, so Massey ball is good hustle, but
another turnover.
I don't know what to tell these guys.
They're just compounding. Yeah, they're just compounding. It's exponential at this point.
Yep. Carter gets the ball, is bringing it up off the inbounds. And
good defense.
Yeah, they're constantly getting their hands on the ball. Austin Fawcett out the top. He gets stuck. Gets it over to Carter Uten. Just not a lot of movement on Massey's.
No
this
movement.
is usually what happens.
No movement.
When you don't move.
Yep. Blocked by Western Brown.
You force something.
I don't know what our offense identity is.
Yeah.
I mean, we seem to not run motion or flex. We seem to just kind of wait for somebody to get open.
It doesn't matter if you got a play designed or you're just running motion. You should always be moving. Right. Something should be moving, and we just find our guys a lot of time in those same spots.
Yep. So to the Broncos' credit, they've capitalized this quarter to a lot of turnovers. So Yanni Williams gets the ball over and yet again break into the hoop with no help defense.
Yep.
This is going to get ugly quick. It's 30-17.
You got to slide.
We've had about 9 empty possessions, and they've scored on almost every one of them. So
here's where I don't.
17.
it'd be good to see some screens here. You can't bust through screens freely all the time. So to get these guys open on this press breaker, you got to screen.
Yeah, I don't understand this. It's just running both
We just
sides.
run and hope.
I mean,
Yep, here we go.
Yeah.
And now we're.
So Yanni Williams is going to. Oh, nope, actually. Oh, yeah, they are going to call it. Look, for a second, he called the charge. I said, what? So Yanni Williams is going to be called for the blocking foul, which puts, I believe, 2 on him. So you got 2 on him, 2 on Nate Baker. Number 1, Carter Uten's going to take the ball out for the Falcons.
You got Blake, Ireland, Logan Myers, Tate Oberding, and Jordan Redmond in for the Falcons. Nate and Austin Fawcett went out to get a breather. Nice skip pass. Jordan for 3. Long off the back. Tate gets the offensive rebound back out to Carter, who takes a 3. That's long.
Yeah.
Blake Ireland gets the offensive rebound out to the corner, looking to dribbling. Nobody, so he's taking it back out, throws it up to Carter Uten at the top, who drives and gets blocked out of bounds, stays here for Falcons.
Yeah, we drive a lot, but I think because of our smaller stature, we also get blocked a lot.
Sure,
Yeah.
Yep.
So looks like 2:19 left, 30-17 your score. That 7-point at the beginning of the quarter is now stretched to 13. So this is where you're struggling, like you said, on the inbounds pass because of some great defense by Western
Brown.
That
is all over. Yeah, they called a foul there on Novak. So.
24 on Novak there. That's going to be his second. Well, that's his second, actually. Jordan Redmond's able to draw that foul from the Western Brown Broncos. Tate Oberding with the ball out of bounds to Carter Uten.
Back nice. And goes off his foot out of bounds.
Yep,
back to Western Brown.
Yep, so another turnover there, unforced on that one, 30-17 with 2 minutes left in the second period. Blake Ireland picks up the defense on Miller as soon as he crosses the timeline. Over to Novak. Novak with a quick pass into Schaefer. Schaefer back to Novak. He drives with a good first step, up and in.
The on-ball defense, we can't. We're really struggling there. Blake Ireland breaks the press. Up for the layup, misses it, gets the offensive rebound back, and now he shoots a 3, and that's off the back iron. Out to Jordan, offensive rebound, back out to Tate, who sets it up. Looks like he's going to drive the lane. He does, and finger roll up and in for 2.
Good. Needed that. We hadn't scored in a while.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Zion Tall, now we got to get back on defense.
There it is again.
Makes one move, turns around, and gets his own rebound.
And good fight by Blake on the ground.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let it go that long.
Yeah. Over to Logan Myers at the top of the perimeter here, over to Tate. Tate's looking to drive, set up his man, gets into his body, and a block. And back out. Here comes on a fast break. On the floor, foul.
On a foul on the floor,
Yep.
So 32-19 is your score with 59 seconds left in the second period. And this has just been kind of a fall-apart period for the Falcons. Yeah,
you just start to feel it out of reach. You got to keep it within reach in these games.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a team that's trying to score 70 points a game.
They know what they're capable of, so they're not going to stop.
Yeah, Tate Oberding takes a seat, bring in Jordan Redmond and Austin Fawcett back in. Quick 2-point basket for the Broncos. Defense right now is a struggle.
I mean, yeah, I saw that guy just bust right down the lane. Blake Ireland bringing it up the court here, drives the lane out to the corner for a 3 for Logan. A good look, three-pointer.
He's actually the highest three-point field goal percentage on the team.
Yeah.
He was at 50% for quite a while, actually. I think at 1.6 for 12. Pick with the ball going into Novak. Novak kicks the ball out to Schaefer. Schaefer to Miller. Miller to Moore.
Yeah.
Moore's getting a pick. Has to kick it back out to the other Novak. 24, which is Drew Novak. Ball's out to Schaefer. Schaefer resets the offense to Miller. Carter Uten brings his defense up to the top of the key. 7.
Yep.
Driving.
6.
Wants to kick it out.
Off the front end, rebound. Blake brings it up for a heave, maybe. No.
Nope.
Time's out.
Well, 34-22 is your score at the end of the second period. We're going to start a 10-minute halftime here in just a second. Tell us what's the biggest changes that need to be made here in the next, I guess, over the 10-minute break. What's Coach saying to them, and what do you hope to see as they come back out?
I think our on-ball ball pressure, our on-ball defense is really hurting us. It's causing our whole defense to break down, which they're getting some nice looks from three. You just stay in your area. If they shoot it in your face, then give it to them. Kudos to them. But the other thing is just those turnovers. I mean, you got to figure every turnover equals 2 points. I mean, it's kind of the ratio.
When you're not getting back on
and
defense.
Yes, we're giving up where I don't understand. The guard. That's got to be on also your top guys, your guards that got to know that they're the deepest man. And so
sometimes you're not playing offense, you're playing defense on their
off. Yeah.
So you've got to recognize that if you're at the top of the key and you see a guy breaking,
sure,
you're going to have
whether
to start
it's your guy or not.
Right, you're going to have to start floating back that way with
team.
them.
You got to help the team. Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take just a break. We'll be back here with about 2 minutes before the start of the second half. We are going to keep the camera going and show you the Cheerios, which the Cheerios is our little second grade and I believe third and fourth grade, or maybe actually I think we're starting kindergarten.
Yeah, you got some tiny ones down there.
So congrats to them.
Here come the cameras.
Yes.
There they come.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll show that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back with you in about 5 minutes or so. here.